Alright guys, let's try this again. I've tried this video several times already, but anyway, we're going to talk about Unit 3, electrons, and specifically how electrons produce light. So, how electrons produce light. Alright, so up until this point we've talked about, in an atom, the nucleus, the subatomic particles, protons, neutrons, and electrons. We focused on charges and how the protons equal the electrons. Okay, now we're going to focus mostly on the electrons because this is where we spend most of our time in chemistry anyway, is in the electrons. Our electrons, we said earlier, live in the somewhere in the electron cloud of an atom. Well, and we said somewhere. Now we're going to try to focus on more of where they live and why they live there, and then how they, in this video specifically, how they produce light. So we have all these electrons out here in an electron cloud, okay, and they're all in these little orbitals, which are circulating in a circular pattern around the nucleus. Now, in your notes, I would like for you to have Cornell-style notes. I want you to draw this diagram, and I want you to put these vocabulary words. Our first one is going to be orbital. Orbital is where we find electrons. And my symbol for electrons, as you notice, is an E, negative. Why? Because electrons have a negative charge. So, excuse me, we have orbitals filled with electrons. Now, how do they produce light? So, what we're going to talk about next is the different states. We have a ground state. Okay? In the ground state, this is where electrons usually are. Can be found. Let's do that one. Can be found. And they usually have no energy or very little energy. We're going to say no energy. Now, energy is a key here. Okay, so we have this electron right here. We'll just take this one right here. Okay. When we have this electron in a ground state, that means it's as close to the nucleus as we possibly can be. It has very little energy. Well, it has energy, but it has little to no energy at the moment, like absorbed into it. When this electron absorbs energy, and we'll talk about the different ways it absorbs energy in another video, and that's the other word I want you to put, absorbs. That's to take in. So when it takes in energy, this electron becomes excited. Okay? So we're going to go to the next vocabulary word is excited state, where an electron has absorbed energy. Okay? So this electron here, he's absorbing energy. Okay, he's taking it in. He's getting excited. Ooh, getting excited. Okay? He is going to jump to another energy level higher up. Okay? So this same electron has now moved here. Okay? So I just kind of get rid of that. Okay, so this electron has moved up to a higher state. Okay? So he's holding up, he's up here, he's like, ooh, 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 I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. Kind of like you when you get a present. You're like, ooh, I wonder what's inside, I wonder what's inside. Well, as soon as he finds out what's inside, okay, as soon as this electron figures out what's inside, or you find out what's inside, remember, if it jumps somewhere, you can't stay there, so they got to fall back down. He's going to fall back down. But when he does that, okay, he's going to release something called a photon. A nice little chemistry word here. Photon. And by doing this, he produces light. Okay, so here's kind of what it happens. And he goes back down into the ground state. Make sure I got all my words here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So I was just checking to make sure I got all my vocabulary words in there that I wanted to have. So here's our electron. He's in his ground state. He gets excited because he's absorbing all this energy, and he's so excited, and then he jumps to a higher energy level, okay, here, and then he can't stay there, but he stays there for a while real excited. When he drops out of the higher energy level, because what goes up must come down, he drops out, he releases all of his energy that he was storing up in the form of a photon, okay, a photon of light is what comes out, okay. So his energy is all bottled up, he releases it, and light comes out. And then he's back down in his ground state, okay? So he goes back to his ground state, all right? So this is going to be important. We're going to do a little mini demo on this in the next couple of days. So be aware that this is what's happening. So let's do it one more time with another electron, okay? So let's take this electron right here. He gets excited. He absorbs all this energy. He takes it in, takes it in, takes it in. He is going to jump to a higher energy level. So now he's here. Okay. Once he's there, he's all excited, he's all excited. When he lets go of his energy, he's going to release it in the form of a photon. Okay. And then he's going to be back in his ground state. That does not mean he's going to the lowest level. It's going where he was before. So the ground state is where he usually hangs out. So if he's at the bottom and he jumps up 2, he's going to go back down to 2. If he's jumped here and he only jumps 1, he's going to go back down 1. Very important for us to know how light is produced. Like I said, most of our stuff in chemistry, most of our focus is on the electrons, and that's where we're going to stay. So we'll see you guys in class. Please write a summary of how electrons produce light, and I'll see you in class. Have a good day.